I'm here this evening with two young ladies from Gilbert, Iowa. Gilbert was one of the very first wrestling teams about the early 2000s, but they've done quite well recently. Kate Melody and Tatum Heaberlin. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
Both of you have committed to wrestle in college, and I thought maybe that'd be a good place to start. Um, Kate, where are you headed to?
I'm headed to Loras University in Dubuque, Iowa.
And when you were taking, trips to Loris and doing other recruiting visits, what are the two or three things that really set Loris apart for you?
Well, funny story. I didn't really know that I wanted to wrestle at college until after the state tournament, having a lot of success and being very happy with how I felt and just about the sport itself. So I was like, man, Loras would be great. It's Catholic, has a great nursing program, and it's a growing wrestling program. So I took a visit, and the coaches were amazing. So.
Nice. Did you visit other places also, or was it kind of your first one, felt at home and decided right then and there?
Yeah, so I mean, I was like, either I like this or I'm not going to wrestle at all and go to the University of Northern Iowa. So,
Oh, okay. Very cool.
hmm
Very cool. And Tatum, we've already talked. You'll be on. Actually, if anybody sees this, they probably have already seen this, but your answers, but we're going to go ahead and repeat it anyway. You're going to go to Iowa Western. And
hmm
what went into making that decision to go to Iowa Western?
I knew kind of right away that I was leaning more towards community college. So a lot of my visits were centered towards like Ellsworth, Iowa Central, just different community colleges in Iowa because I didn't really want to go out of state either. I was kind of focused on in-state community colleges. And my last two final decisions were between Iowa Western and Iowa Central. And it kind of all came down to the people, but then also, I don't know, I just really liked the facilities, the program, the coaches, just all of it at Iowa Western. The second I showed up, I felt like this is where I want to be. Like, I didn't really have any, like, oh, but what about this? What about this? I was just more pretty confident. Like, I was like, Mom, I think this is it. Like, I want to go here instead of like comparison to some other schools. So yeah, I'm really happy that I ended up going there. The coach, she's amazing. She was an assistant coach for a long time and now she's their head coach. So
Very good. Sounds like both of you found a place you can call home.
mhm.
Being good friends, you're now going to be on opposite sides of the state. That's all right though. I'm sure I'm sure you'll be able to keep that together. So when we look at wrestling and what drew you into it, Kate, you started your sophomore year. Tatum, if I remember right, you started your eighth grade year. Is that right? So what drew you to the sport of wrestling? Why did you decide to go out? And I don't care who starts.
For me, like, so all my family, my dad wrestled in high school and my brother was wrestling in middle school at the time. And my best friend Brooke at the time, we're still very close. She was like going into wrestling season and talking about it with me. And I was like, well, what if I gave this a try? Like, what would it be like? And evidently, the head coach at the time, Otter, was like, okay, you should just give it a try, see how it is for the first couple of weeks. And I just fell in love with it after I stepped on that mat. So,
And how about you,
mhm.
Tatum?
My dad and both my grandpas, so like a lot of the men in my life had grown up wrestling and they would like talk about it. And I just never really had a sport I kind of enjoyed as much. And I just had a lot of free time. So I decided to become a wrestling manager because my mom didn't really like the idea of me wrestling with all the guys. And then my freshman year, when it finally became sanctioned, she let me join our first ever girls wrestling team at Gilbert, which was all girls. And yeah, that's just kind of it. I just knew from the start it was something I was really passionate about. I just kind of didn't know where to go to be able to do those things.
Now, when you look back to say that first season for both of you, uh, I'm sure that it was different. Obviously, the sport's different. It's a very hard sport, and it takes some time. But it's something that you'd be like, "Oh man, I'm kind of embarrassed I did that uh, my first year."
Mm, I would say wearing ankle socks, not gonna lie, like to practice all the time, or just like being embarrassed to like not know what to do rather than being like full send right into like I like just being confident in who I was and like being confident in my moves and things like that rather than being kind of off put and like for the first little month I was like not sure, but
as you do, like you're uncomfortable trying something new. So just being more confident, the ankle socks, and just knowing the kind of style for wrestling and things like that. But those are the main things for me. And yeah.
I'm going to come
Um,
back to that because I got to talk about that. But Tatum, how about you? Anything that you're like, man, I can't
I
believe I did that.
I just feel like I don't even really truly know. I had some I would see moves on Instagram and I would hit some moves that just should not have been hit and it would I watched videos back from when I first started wrestling. I was like, what am I doing? But no, I think just my overall demeanor, like I was way too confident for how inexperienced I was.
Gotcha. So let's talk about wrestling fashion because it has changed over the years. I'm going to tell you, when I was wrestling, ankle socks were fine to wear and double knee pads. What's your thoughts on double knee pads?
I wear double knee pads. I love double knee pads. I need my knee pads. I do get some hate for it, but I honestly don't understand. Like, I think they're chill. I think ankle socks are bad. I think double knee pads deserve some respect. I like them.
All right. So
It
ankle
just
socks bad, double knee pads okay.
Yes, I
All
vote
right.
towards double knee pads.
I don't think the
Okay.
double knee pads really matter too much. I mean, the thing that gets me is like the cutoff sweatpants. I guess like I get that you can put your like shoes on and then take them off easy, but the polos, what's up with that?
I'm not
Button
sure what's going
downs?
on with that button down thing.
I don't
That's just
understand it.
odd. That's
It's just
weird. That's yeah. So would that be in like your younger terms wrestling ick, the polo
yes,
thing?
Yeah.
Because
yes.
man,
Yeah.
I don't get it either. I mean, they're doing practice in polos. That's just weird.
It's not it.
I
I
can't
don't
do the cut off sweats like that either. I'm still give me the joggers and pull my socks over it. That's where I'm at.
because you want to keep the heat in to sweat
Yeah.
more, but
That's
Then your
right.
maybe
ankles, it's just
maybe it's like a meat day type deal.
yeah.
I don't I don't know.
I don't know. It's odd. It's odd. Wrestling fashion is odd, but it I guess it catches on. You guys became pretty good friends wrestling, right? Practice partners. Have you been practice partners since you started, Kate?
No, so I start out with just random assortment, would try it out with somebody new about every other week. But I really just once we got or I got more serious, coach was like put us together and the first week was rough. I mean, there were some tears shed,
Yeah.
but we got through it and in the end we've made each other better and that's how we got to the state tournament. That's how we got to where we are today and
2 years in a row together.
we're keep on growing through it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's made us better people off the mat too. I mean, we go to church together, we share our faith and everything like that. I mean, it's grown us closer and there's been hard moments, yes, but we know when to stand our distance and give each other a little break.
Yeah.
During like, man, that was a tough loss, reconvene in a later time and then, talk through it. But
I also feel like we weren't like just being straight up, we weren't even friends before wrestling. One of my good friends, Brooke Hammer's her best friend at the time, like we both knew each other through her, but we never really were like close. We just knew of each other's existence. So
Uh-huh.
my practice partner, my freshman and sophomore year, was Brooke Hammers, and we would practice whenever. And I knew Kate came out for wrestling, but she was so much smaller than me. We like never actually crossed paths in the room until like end of sophomore, junior, senior year. So
mhm.
yeah, we
Gotcha.
were like I literally had zero like relation with her until wrestling. And then we became friends like just slowly over time, the more we were able to see each other and like grow in our love for the sport.
Mhm.
Well, obviously working to oh, my mic went flying there for a second. So no, working together though does obviously worked for you because you both 2 years state qualifiers, both placed this year. A hard thing to do. But I'm going to go back and I mentioned this earlier. My one of my best friends in high school, Sean Rogers, was my practice partner every day. And man, there was days we wanted to kill each other, and probably more him wanting to beat me, because of just the way I practiced and stuff. But how do you get through those moments? Because I'm sure they happen. Because wrestling's tough, and you're in combat for quite a while. But how do you get through that as friends? Do you are you it's just do you just are you able to let it go like just like that?
I think we've had to learn over time. I think at the beginning, especially for me, I would hold on to stuff way too much. And then like the more I think about it, I was like, it's not that deep. Or like in practice, like the things you say and do in practice, everybody's hot, it's sweaty, it's hours, you all want to go home. Like it's just it's like a time and people say and do things that they probably aren't really thinking about because they just want to get through practice, like work hard and go eat and go to bed. So I feel like for me, I had to learn that things that happen, like even things I say, like I don't always mean them. It's just the stress of the moment and like I need to move on more. So yeah, I will say I think over time I've had to learn whatever happens. I just need to move on because like she's still my friend. We're still great partners. The reason I'm where I am is because we're partners and friends. So like yeah.
Hmm.
Very
Yeah,
good.
to add on to that, I mean, if it's a big deal that we need to bring up, we kind of let the stress go down a little bit and then talk through it like, hey, this is how I was feeling. This is how I was feeling. And then we say, oh, okay, I can see that. And it usually, I mean, obviously, we're sitting here together. I mean, it works
Yeah.
out. So, yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress, but we try our hardest to keep our relationship strong.
Yeah, and the reason I think I asked that is because relationships built in the sport of wrestling are very strong relationships. I mean, I'm friends with people I wrestled with in middle school, in high school, in college, and coaches I know all across the state and the country. Um, but it is interesting how sometimes those conflicts actually make us better friends. You both are part of kind of a historical 4 years, right? Whether you only wrestled from your sophomore year on, you're the first wave of sanctioned girls wrestling. There's been
Mhm.
a lot of changes already in 4 years. We started with the super regional. Let's go back. Did you both wrestle at super regionals?
Yep.
Okay. What was your thought on the super regional four qualifiers, but 20 some plus teams all thrown together?
I would say so. My freshman year, I was like JV. I didn't wrestle. My sophomore year was the first year I did it, and my sophomore year is kind of the year I had to, like a big turnaround and kind of like just my overall wrestling demeanor and like the effort I put in. For me, I was super nervous. I was super nervous because a lot of these girls were from like essentially so many teams, like you don't see half of them. So I honestly had no idea what to expect. I remembered watching it my freshman year and I was overwhelmed and I wasn't even wrestling. So in my head I was like, "Oh my goodness, like this is going to be crazy because I'm actually going to have to wrestle and like keep going match after match and figure it out." And it was also the fact that there was like the rule we could only wrestle like 7 matches or like 6 to 7 matches every single like
Yeah.
time. And my sophomore year, I wrestled 7 matches and I didn't play like place to go to state. And I was so upset, not at the fact that like I didn't place, but just at the fact I literally just had to keep wrestling, keep wrestling, keep wrestling. And I fell just short enough. I was like, oh, but I honestly think it was overall just a good experience because you have to learn to persevere through all the different things because it's a long day and like you're gonna have to keep going because the second you give up on yourself, you still got like 4 more matches. Like it just is a really, really long day when it's that big of a tournament.
Yeah. How about you, Kate?
Um,
Did you wrestle that?
Yeah, so for me, so I was wrestling at 120 the entire year, and Brooke Hammers ended up hurting her shoulder again for the second time or third, I don't even
Yeah.
know. And so the 135 spot was open, and I was like, yeah, let's go get that varsity spot. So I wrestled off for it, ended up getting it, and basically was eating for 2 weeks straight. Then I get there and I'm just thrown into this varsity tournament that I'm unsure of, and I feel like I was a little delusional, but I just remember it to be kind of fun, and I tried my hardest. I mean, it wasn't the best result now thinking back on it, but it was a fun time to, gain more experience and see like the next level of where I could go and what I could achieve or like goals for next year. And, it was a huge tournament, and I was like, I didn't know how this all worked. So it was a great experience for sure. And yeah, I mean, it was huge. And I was very thankful the next year to have a little bit
A little
smaller
smaller?
size. But yeah.
Yeah. So Kate made a good point. She was able to see what it looked like and set their goals for the next thing. Tatum, you had a long day. You wrestled probably
Yeah.
every match you could have possibly wrestled and fell just short. How did that push you for the next year?
I think for me, seeing the difference I was able to make from freshman to sophomore year, I knew I was capable of making that jump. I think in my head, I was just like, okay, let's do it again. Like, I want another big jump. And you know what? That like another big jump could be the thing that gets me to state, gets me to these bigger goals. So for me, yeah, I fell short and like I had my moment of being upset, but I was also like, I know I can do it now because I've come so close to getting it. So I think it was very motivating as much as it was sad because I had 2 more years. I'm like, I'm gonna make these 2 years count. Let's go.
And then for both of you, the next year, a little bit smaller regionals. Are you a 1A or 2A school? I'm trying to think.
2A.
2A.
2A. That's what I thought so, but I didn't want to. I was almost positive you were. So a little bit smaller regionals. Would we have 10 teams that first year in 2A? Um, Obviously, it went well because you both qualified. What do you like? What's the difference between the two tournaments? I mean, it's still stressful that coming back the wrestle off for second place and only having two qualifiers, not four. What's the day like at regionals?
I think it's still very high stress, obviously, because it's the thing that's going to make or break going to state or not. But I feel like in your head, you can be a little more like open-minded about your possibilities, like, and have a little more faith in yourself, just knowing that there's less people there. I mean, that's not saying like don't believe in yourself no matter the amount of people, but that's more just like it's not as overwhelming. You show up and you just know, like you're in a small little school. You're not in a
Yep.
massive arena with all these different mats. Like it's just loud. Like it's just more toned down. Same level of like, I don't know, stress of the fact of like the chances, but like you're not surrounded by so much chaos to where you just feel like you don't even know what you're gonna do. So I feel like it's a
Gotcha.
little less high stress levels.
I think I understand I understand exactly what you're saying. That
Yeah.
that there's a lot of stuff going around being maybe overstimulated on top of the stress of qualifying for the state tournament, on top of having to perform well, all those things just and a lot of things going on.
Hmm.
How about you, Kate? What did you feel like the difference between those two style of tournaments are?
Yeah, the competition's for sure still there, and you still gotta go after every single match you can and watch out for those headlocks. Like Coach Graves always was like, anything can happen, guys.
Yep.
But honestly, just put your head down and get to work, and it's the same either way you go with a huge tournament or a small tournament, but it's just more realistic to what everybody was kind of wrestling. I mean, there's no huge tournament unless like you go to what ones are there like preseason tournament or after.
Yeah. Preseason
Well, it's just any
nationals,
AAU state. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any,
AU
yeah, preseason
state. Yeah.
nationals is pretty big.
like
It's
any of
Yeah.
those tournaments, those are gonna be huge no matter what. But it's just, I don't know, makes it more competitive. I mean, anything can happen and things
Yeah.
like that. So
And it's
yeah.
crazy how often anything does happen. I saw a lot of matches this year where people were way up and then all of a sudden they get pinned and that, ruins their dream for going to state. But
Mhm.
both of you had 2 years in a row of going down the state tournament. That's amazing. And I love that state tournament. What are some things that really sets that tournament apart for you when you think back and go, wow, that's just no matter the results, I love that tournament. What are those things for you?
I kind of talked about this in the last one, but I think it's the fact that you get to meet so many people worked hard to get there. It's not like they were just handed this result if we're all at state. It's like, everybody around you put the same amount of effort in and like they want to be there just as bad as you are. And I also feel like that tournament in itself, I don't know, it's just less stressful on the fact that you like this is the end all be all. This is the highest you can go in season. So I feel like it's less stressful because you're like, no matter what happens, I'm just gonna work hard and the results will show regardless of what happens today? So I feel like for me, I love it because it's not like a stressful tournament for me. It was more just like it's time to like show what I can do and we'll see how this goes type of situation. And just like meeting new people and seeing all these random like schools and all these things. I'm like, I didn't even know those places existed.
Yeah, so you felt more free because you've already made it to state. And so whatever happens is just cherry on top of that sundae, right? I like that. I like that way you looked at that. That's a good way. How about you, Kate? What's the state tournament like for you?
Oh my goodness, it was so exciting. I mean, you got all your family there, all your friends like surrounding you, and you got your favorite coaches in your corner and everybody there to cheer you on and for you to appreciate them. I mean, all these people come together to support you and just for you have a good time out on that mat while wrestling alongside your best friends and having your practice partners there. Like, I mean, we got to take along a couple freshmen this year, and that was exciting for them to see just what to achieve and what their goals should be set at. So, I mean, just a great feeling to be like where where you've set at the entire year to be like, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm here where I wanted to be at. So,
So Gilbert, we've already seen 4 years of incredible growth on the team. A lot of freshmen, you said. What do you think the next 4 years for girls wrestling, but more specifically Gilbert girls wrestling, is going to happen?
I think our freshman class is gonna surprise a lot of people. I think our underclassmen are very athletic, but also just driven people in how they perform in all aspects of their lives. And I feel like they'll come out swinging. And I think they'll put in the work regardless if it's directly at wrestling, but just at become like growing athletically. And I think it'll show very strongly. I think we could have more than just 2 or 3 state qualifiers. I feel like we could bring half the team. And yeah, it's just how much effort they put in, but I know for a fact they all have it in them to show up and be able to show out for sure.
mhm.
And Kate, what do you think Gilbert as a team, what makes it special?
I mean, we come so closely together and we just bond over the smallest things. I mean, we have a great time during practice. And not only that, but we're pushing each other. We keep each other to a high standard and we wish the best for everybody. I mean, sometimes when you see yourself fall short, you don't always wish the best for other people. And we're always cheering each other on. I mean, yelling on the bench, where we could have pom poms in your hands. You wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah,
So it's just a great culture to like have my last year in, and it's been great always. But I just felt like we really came together this last year, and I'm excited to see where all these young girls go and what they can achieve. So,
and so I think you've both mentioned the coaches over this interview or maybe your past year interview. What makes the Gilbert coaches special to you?
For me, both of them are girl dads. They both have one, obviously they have other kids too, but mainly they have their own little kid girl wrestlers. And for me, when I first came out like to wrestle, I was obviously a little uncomfortable, a little scared, a little nervous just about the whole thing as it was. But like what really set them apart was they brought their girls into the room. They showed you like there's young kids here and like regardless of your skill level, you are being a role model to them. And I think for me, they've been like dads for at least I think I can agree for us both. They're like dads. They show up and they just want what's best for you. And they're like, no matter what happens, we are proud of you. We are proud of we can see what you the work you've put in. And I feel like that's what honestly kept me like going and pushing and wanting to be better was the fact that I knew regardless of what happened, I'm making like them proud and they know that this is the sport I love and they're gonna put in as much effort into me as I am into the sport.
Very good. How about you, Kate? What's coaches like for you?
yeah, I mean, I, they're just amazing coaches that have your back no matter what. They're gonna pick you up at your first tournament. I mean, this year it was a rough one for me. Nevada always hits hard, and like they picked me right up, and they're like, "You got it, Kate." And at the state tournament last year, I was like literally dying. I had a fever, like wrestling, fainted after my last match, and my coach Brian and then my dad Brian. I was like, I got my two Brians right here. And they were basically carrying me off, but like they're just great human beings which like I look up to them in every way I can. So, yeah.
Very good. So you both have mentioned hard losses. What helps you get through those hard losses?
For me, I think it's just the thought that like my identity is not in wrestling itself. So yes, I'm like upset when the loss happens and those things, but I think I move on a lot quicker than I feel like some do because I know there's another thing I can go chase. So I'm still constantly chasing the next best thing, but also the fact that this isn't an end all be all. My life has no matter because I lost this one match. no, I still have value. I still have all these things, but I need to like refocus, recircle here, know what I need to fix, move on to the next. And I think that also comes with having a faith and just knowing that your identity is in Christ and the other things in your life, not solely in how you perform in your different athletics and stuff.
How about you, Kate? How do you come back from those hard losses?
Yeah, I mean, all year I was working on this fireman's, and I would, at that 135 spot, I was not quite 135. And so I would just, it was hard. Like I would get put to my back or different things. And through those hard losses, they teach you the best like lessons you can ever get. And, I learned that in the end, I was right there, didn't get thrown. So I was like, yeah, I learned it and learned it the hard way, but it's going to make me a better person and better wrestler and all the things that I can. So that's what I always take from it and go chase the next best thing, like Tatum said.
Yep. And both of you have mentioned faith and going to Loris partially because of your faith. You've mentioned faith. How does faith help you throughout this sport and in just everyday life?
Yeah, I mean, I've, had not struggles, but I'm like, I need God in my life to make me whole and to have purpose. So evidently, I need him everywhere. And by going to a Catholic school, I feel that I'll be stronger and all of that. And, just have people around me to carry me. And I have this amazing faith community here that builds me up stronger, and they're always cheering for me and want the best for me. So by having God in my life, I feel whole, like I said earlier, and it just forming that great connection, helps me through anything. And I feel that, nobody's got it better than me. I'm walking with him. So that's what
Good.
I think about it. Yeah.
How about you,
For
Tatum?
for me, I feel like for a long time I'd struggle with I'd set these goals and I'd have these plans and then they wouldn't work out or they wouldn't go the way I wanted them to. So I think my faith has helped me realize that like regardless of the plans I set for myself or the goals I set for myself and the dreams I want to chase, God has a plan and his plans are always good. So this like moment or this match or this situation might not feel the best it could be in this very second, but I know that this is happening because he has something better for me in the end. So I think for me, it's just a constant reminder that he is a good God, he's a faithful God, and he loves me and he's my father. So regardless of how I feel in this certain moment, something good has to come out of this. So it's just the constant reminder that yes, I can feel upset, yes, I can feel sad, but in the end, I can move on knowing that he has good plans for me.
So you mentioned your coaches brought their daughters in. So you've always had you know that there's little girls looking up to you the whole time. What do you hope that your story says to those little girls?
Hmm. I'm gonna ponder this for a second. Well, I feel like I hope that I do a great job not only with my words, but like how I act and build myself up and act around, those younger kids to really show them not who to be, but how, like, what to achieve or things like that. I'm not saying that I'm the best wrestler out there, but, I've been doing this for some time and I hope that, like, I've put in work to show that and just to be a good human to others around you, to not, have a big ego or things like that, to be really humble and, have a good faith and balance everything out where you're not a wrestler. You are a person that wrestles. So,
Gotcha. I like that.
Mhm.
That's good. How about you?
I
What do you want those girls to take away from you?
I think something they probably take away from both of us is that sometimes like I don't even know like hard work is what ultimately is going to pay off and at least in the sport of wrestling you can't just dream it to happen, you have to be able to put the work in. So I feel like something we tried was yeah, people can talk, yeah, be like not humble, they can boast themselves and like all these different things, but it's the people that are quiet and are just working in the back that count. And I feel like for us, we constantly would show up to extra things, show up to little kids practices, show up to boys practices, and our whole goal wasn't to be like, "Hey, we're here, look at us," but more just to be like, we're putting in the work. So I hope that they take away the fact that hard work, like all the work they're putting in has a goal and that's what's going to get them to where they want to be is putting in the work in the quiet moments when people aren't looking at you, not the loud moments when everybody knows that you're there.
So let's get to know each other. I'm going to give you about 5 or 6 questions. Not necessarily rapid fire, but kind of just get to know you questions. And might expand on them a little bit. But what's something about each one of you that people might find different, not odd, but just different that they wouldn't know about you?
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of pick it up, but like my family goes first and like I put them first and I live on a farm and we do hard work. I mean, we put it all in together. So that's one thing that I have pride about as well as, just enjoy. So,
She shows sheep.
She shows
mhm.
sheep.
Yep.
Um, something, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if you're able to pick it up over a podcast, but I feel like I'm a very extroverted person. I don't know. I think most people when they first look at me, I seem very introverted or I seem not as vocal as I can be, but I am a quite loud and obnoxious person when I want to be. So I
Gotcha.
feel like that's something some people miss is like I can be a very overwhelming person sometimes. Not exactly quiet, but yeah.
All right. How about what's your favorite food? Not wrestling, just what's your favorite food altogether?
Mm. Chicken thighs grilled with a salad, croutons, and ranch.
That's pretty specific. Are you boneless chicken thighs or bone
Yeah,
in?
boneless. You can't have a
Boneless.
bone in there.
Gotcha. All right. How about you,
I
Tatum?
love a good 8-ounce steak.
From Texas
A good
Roadhouse.
8-ounce steak from Texas Roadhouse with bread. We talked about this last time. That's my
I know
go-to.
we sure did. What about dessert? What's our favorite dessert?
Oh, a cookie.
Brownie.
What kind of
I'm a
cookie? We
Chocolate chip warm out of the oven.
All right.
brownie with ice cream.
We've
Did
been
we talk
dreaming
about
about.
brownies?
I
Did
don't
we
know,
talk
probably.
about brownies
Well, because
early?
I said I liked baking, and then you said that, yeah, yeah, I think we did. I think we did. Because I said I love baking brownies and like cake and stuff. Because like sometimes we would have like after wrestling, we were like, okay, we have to go bake this. Because we both love baking, but we were like, probably should watch the weight right now. We probably shouldn't go make them because we're gonna eat them all. If we
No,
make
but we
them.
would dream about like
Yes.
our food after or like after season's over, and we've had it.
Yeah.
We've had all the desserts.
Yes.
That's perfect. I'm glad you did. We used to. This is the funniest thing we ever did. So the group of friends I had, we every year from our freshman year through our senior year, we had what we called the Get Fat Party. And so everybody had to bring whatever they wanted. That I mean, we would eat pizza, we would have cake, cookies, candy. We'd play video games all night long, play just whatever. But we weighed in at the beginning of the night when we got to my friend's house, and it was at my friend Sean's house every year because they had a really cool little fun thing. And then we would weigh at the beginning of the night and at the end of the night, and there was a prize for whoever gained the most weight in the overnight time. So maybe something you guys might want to consider. It's a blast.
Oh
It's
That's
my
a
really
big
goodness.
tummy ache.
Oh,
I
it
love
was
that.
horrible sometimes, but it was fun. So let's expand on brownies and cake. Centerpiece or corner piece?
Center. Okay, actually depends. For cake, I would say corner. I don't know. There's not like, because for brownies, I don't want a crust, but on cake, it's not like a crust, but it's a different texture. I
Okay.
prefer corner. Depends.
I'd like to bake cake for Tatum, and she likes to eat it. No, I'm just kidding. I would say corner. I like the crunchiness and not a big crunch, but manageable.
Yeah, subtle.
Yeah,
ASMR.
doesn't matter too much. All food is good with sugar.
How about favorite uh frosting? What kind of frosting are we putting on this cake?
Vanilla.
I like vanilla buttercream. Or there was this one I had this one time. It was like, sorry. It was like raspberry lemonade something. It was vanilla cake. It was so good. Oh,
All right.
I don't know.
Shoes. First wrestling shoe. What's your favorite wrestling shoe?
Asics or her Nikes are sweet. I like Asics, but then I also depends on the certain Rudis shoes. My last one's
I'll go get
completely
mine.
ripped out of the bottom.
I'm going to go get my shoe. Just wait, the
Awesome.
fire.
Yeah, she has some sweet Nikes. But no, my
Really?
last Yeah, my last Asics, not Asics, Rudis I bought on our senior night, the very bottom of like the middle of my toe on the sole just burst out almost. And it was you could see it in the photo. Like the bottom of my shoe just like completely just disintegrated.
Okay.
Ooh,
These
I
are
like
the
those.
ones. Tall
Those are the
ones.
ones. Yes, I have Inflicts. So, and how do they fit? Are they like when I put my Inflicts on? I'm not a Nike person on wrestling shoes usually, but the Inflicts felt like I was just they were broken already. How are those?
These are excellent. I mean, you don't even have to break them on too much. They don't hurt. They just fit like a glove.
She hooked our coach on him. He used to be a straight like A6 guy,
And they're light.
and then he tried these on, and now he's like, "Yeah, I think these are my new shoe." And we're like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, I used to be an Asics person too, and then I went through a Rudis phase, and now I think I'm on Nike Inflicts. So I don't know.
Mm.
Outside of wrestling shoes, I'm a shoe person. Like I always have different shoes, and you guys both won't be around next year, but I just ordered my shoes for next year, and they're pretty awesome. I think I'll wear them in Florida. But what's your favorite shoe outside of wrestling shoes?
For like walking around, Hoka's.
What Hoka's? All right.
Yeah.
Those are
And
nice.
then because I'm a big runner, like that's how like I really kind of helped me cut down and maintain this year.
Athlete in her.
I had Brooks Glycerin, and those
Mhm.
are the ones.
I like the very famous clogs that everybody wears.
Oh yeah.
But mine are platform, and I drag my feet all the time, so the very backs of them are like this thick, and then the fronts are like that thick.
You can
But I
hear
love
her
them.
walking from a mile away.
Well, I love them. They're my favorite shoes, and I wear them all the time.
Very good. If we could go on vacation, where would you go?
I
Mm.
said mountains. Last time I said mountains because I always go to the beach with my families or like places with water. So I wanted to go hiking.
I would say Ireland. I mean, I already visited there, but like it was so beautiful. And in that picture right there, my parents went to Ireland because we have like a family farm there. And
Oh,
I just
cool.
fit right in because I was so pale.
So you're both going to college. What do you want to be when you are done?
I want to become a nurse. I'm currently a CNA at a nursing home. So I really enjoy that and I look forward to like all the studies and new things that come out with healthcare. So
No,
I want to be a
that's
PE
not
teacher
PET. I think I remember that.
and
Yes, it
coach wrestling.
hasn't been that long. Uh, do you think Kate, you might want to coach at some point in time, or officiate, or come back to the sport in some way?
I don't know even like I guess just see where this road takes me, but I wouldn't be down. Like, I wouldn't be not interested. Like, I would be totally out for it. And if it opens itself to me, I would
Come coach with me wherever I go.
come coach. Yeah, because we're 5 hours apart.
I
Like,
know.
once we go university. Yeah.
It's
Too
not too
far.
bad once you hit 80 and just go straight across. It's kind of a
Yeah.
boring drive, but it won't be
Yeah.
bad. It'll be all right. You can
Well,
meet
and
in
Ames
Gilbert.
is like right in the yeah, it's like square in the middle because we're both. So it's nice, but it's also
Hmm.
Yeah.
sad.
I met a lot of my friends in Ames when I was in college too, so we won't go into those stories. But so when you both are looking back, what are some things that you think you'll remember about this wrestling season?
Mm, I'd say wrestling with all my best friends and having just such great coaches like there all the time. I mean, they were always coaching little kids practices, our practices there in the morning for 2 days and things like that. They were very involved. Not only that, but just I feel like the dream, like I never got out of the dream. We were always just having the best time of our lives, and it hasn't ended. But like, I'm not wrestling every day, So,
Yep.
but yeah, just it was just such a great time. Senior year was it. All the hype.
I think I'll remember the people. I'll remember her. I'll remember our coaches, and I got to wrestle with my little sister because she's a freshman. So I think I will always cherish that because this will be the one year we get to wrestle together, depending on if she goes to college or what she does and all the different things. But no, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really happy I got to do that. My freshman year, I did competition dance, and my older sister did our comp dance team. So like I got to do that with my older sister as a freshman senior combo, and I got to do that with my younger sister with this sport. So I feel like I don't know, it's just like kind of a full circle moment for me, and I really liked being able to do
Mhm.
that with her.
Well, very good. Tatum, I think I've talked to you more than this last few weeks than I've ever talked to you before in my life. But I think I'm excited to I'll get to see you a couple more times, I'm sure, before the end of this year because you're going to Florida with us. Kate, it was really fun to get to know you.
Mhm.
Last thing I always do is just a little final thought. What would you like everyone to know about wrestling, about anything within the sport of wrestling, or some advice to younger ones?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this sport like grows because every year at state it just like it really just grew as it went and the competition has increased and I'm excited to see my coach's daughters get into high school and see where they go because they've been already super successful at AAU state in different tournaments and just see like kind of how things go. I mean, I'm excited for the future for myself as well. I mean, Loris College, if anybody would be interested in going there and being my partner. But yeah, just I'm excited for everything and you know, yeah, that's where I'm at.
I'm excited to see the numbers grow even more than they already have. I I want people to know, I don't know. I think just the fact that girls wrestling is such a unique sport and the fact it is so new. So you don't have to be a girl that's been wrestling since like she came out of the womb, like all this stuff. You don't have to have family members that wrestled. Like if it's something that's interesting to you, just go for it. Like worst thing that happens is you don't like it and you find something else. Like there's nothing bad that can come out of trying wrestling. All it can do is add to your life, add to your physical health, add to your mental health, like add to all of it. So like you gain friends, you gain family. Like, there's nothing bad with trying out a new sport, especially girls wrestling.
Mhm.
Very good. Thank you very much for both doing this. Hold on just one second. I'm going to hit the stop button, but I want to talk to you both for just a moment.